Now, first story, and an appraisal of sector ministers' performance will begin from today at the Flagstaff House by a policy department there. The exercise is a follow-up on the setting of targets earlier this year. Briefing journalists at the Flagstaff House on Monday, Deputy Information and Media Relations Minister Murtala Mohammed said the exercise was in pursuit of President Mohammed's transparent governance. He says details of the report would be made public from tomorrow.
According to Murtala Mohammed, the assessment will also be based on the President's vision, the 2013 national budget, and the ruling NDC's manifesto, which contains promises they made to the people of Ghana.
His Excellency the President and the government is making an appraisal of a review of the things that this government intended to do within the year, and it to be tailored into what the ministers themselves presented to the President, mindful of the challenges and some constraints. These ministers have actually submitted reports as to what they have been able to achieve within the year. The Presidency, through the policy tax group and also advisors, will go through the reports, appraise the performance of these ministers based on what they themselves presented. We will take them sector by sector as to the presentations that were made and the achievement of each of the ministries and agencies from tomorrow. So
the assessment of sector ministers will be based on targets that they themselves set, of course, which were sanctioned by the Presidency. An obvious outcome will be either a boot out of office or a second chance. The Deputy Minister did not say for sure. What he did say, however, is that the challenges and constraints in achieving these targets will be considered in this judgment.
The President, like I said, is not a straitjacketing. He's mindful of some of the challenges that the people may encounter. And like I said, once we begin to put out, maybe possibly from tomorrow, the achievement of various ministries and agencies, you begin to appreciate how the ministers have actually done well in terms of achieving the targets and the standard they themselves set. Once we begin tomorrow, we'll be putting out the reports that the various ministers have submitted with regards to the achievement they themselves have chalked in their ministries. We'll also be able to state if there are some challenges in achieving certain targets. Yes, we'll be able to explain why they couldn't do that.
Kifty Andwapia, Joynews, Flagstaff House.
Two communities are engaged in a tangle over the ownership of a site from where gravels are mined for the roadworks in and around the St. Ferry landing site in the Esujaman district in the eastern region. The two communities, Old Akrade and Fudoku, are disputing the ownership of the site, a situation which has the tendency to delay the completion of the St. Ferry land site and consequently the commencement of the major rehabilitation of the Adomi Bridge. The chiefs of the two communities are said to have impeded access to the gravel site needed to complete the roadworks and the St. Ferry landing site. Incidentally, the roadworks and the land site would have to be completed before the Adomi Bridge is closed for scheduled major rehabilitation works in February next year.
We'll come down to Accra, and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has closed down the Osu Oxford Street Mall. According to AMA officials, owners of the mall did not have the requisite occupancy certificate. Well, the mall was opened just some few weeks ago and has since been in brisk business. Abe concerns the mall will bring traffic to an already congested vicinity. The AMA on Monday began an operation-led traffic flow to rid the city of needless vehicular traffic during the Christmas festivities. But this axe fell heavily on the ShopRite Mall on the Oxford Street Osu. With chains and padlocks, the AMA officials locked up the mall late Monday afternoon.
The Driver Vehicle and Licensing Authority has announced measures it says are aimed to addressing the insurance of licenses to unqualified persons. Key amongst the measures is the tightening of the electronic system introduced last year to plug loopholes identified. Speaking at the Road Safety Campaign seminar held in Accra, Acting DVLA Chief Executive Rudolph Beckley says many of the road accidents can be blamed on qualified drivers who, as a result, lack the right skills.
The acting DVLA boss cited many road accidents which occurred as a result of the neglect of basic road safety rules by unqualified drivers, adding that his outfit is collaborating with the police, MTTU and other agencies to clamp down on drivers with fake driving licenses.
There is a task force between the DVLA, the MTTD and the National Road Safety Commission, and we are strong on the road. A lot of such drivers have been recalled to our system. A lot of vehicles have been pulled out of the system. Since we began this exercise in November to date, we have accosted over 200 vehicles and more are being accosted. As for the drivers and the fake licenses, it's numerous. We are doing this exercise to weed off these miscreants on our roads so that we can enjoy a large measure of comfort and safety.
He noted the activities of hangers-on at the DVLA, also known as Goro Boys, also contribute to the phenomenon of fake licenses, which the electronic system was introduced to check.
Goro cannot thrive effectively without an inside help or assistance. We have observed that. Realize that the Goro have even faked all our documentations. And it's the reason we have embarked on a proactive online system that initiates an action with us and you. Then we can track, because we have filled the form online already. So therefore we will not give you any form again to fill, which we believe that Goro has faked. So we have online forms you fill, and we can only deliver your service if the system recognizes you. That way, you realize that all our documentations are intact because we have systems check. We conduct audit trail to ensure that whoever comes into the system, at the end of the day, we match activity with revenue so that there will not be any loss of revenue.
The Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways, Isaac Ejay Mensah, stressed his outfit is also collaborating with other stakeholders to ensure an accident-free Christmas.
For this Christmas, we have pursued still the issue of maintenance of our roads and making sure that they are safe for usage. And of course, we have this relationship also with the other agencies that are in charge of ensuring road safety, like the Road Safety Commission and others, to ensure that whatever support they need from us, we accord them. There is this, synergy, this connection between these organizations, and indeed the Ministry of Transport are supervising and making sure that all these are adhered to.
The seminar is part of measures to prevent and reduce the occurrence of accidents before, during and after the Christmas festivities.
Meanwhile, the Central Region Road Safety Commission is embarking on an aggressive campaign to clear traders and hawkers who sell on the streets of the region's roads. The campaign is to avert accidents this Yuletide. The street traders and hawkers are being asked to go into markets where they belong.
Statistics provided by the National Road Safety Commission indicates that nearly 43% of people who suffer deaths and injuries on the roads are pedestrians. This has been blamed on a number of factors, such as the lack of pedestrian crossings. The Central Region, which leads in pedestrian deaths in the country, is noted to have a lot of traders and hawkers venturing into the streets, a phenomenon which has not been helped by the strategies rolled out by the Road Safety Commission in the region. At Jukwa, Kaswa and Andoy, traders briskly sell on the streets, oblivious to the risks involved.
Na saya badama yenye baby entina patane mu nyina ayama baby a ehwo so oye yin ewia na hihia no dodo na wo no so ya toilet nkote ntisa kwatena ho a obi amba nto abandama ase agina car kwan ho a na wo to hia nzama
this no wa na adwene ho nte nam so ma obedui ha emayen se obeyi won ewo ekwan no aba ekira enso ya hwa o meyi won nti anopa ya na yete announcement se free ene ekonene last day if you die benadan mo bi enton ne ma ekwan ho bi ye mra ekira yo how my empire ekwan no de ka kura kese ne ba
The National Road Safety Commission is, however, not giving up, and earlier this year started a new sensitization drive in collaboration with the district, municipal and metropolitan assemblies in the region. Regional Coordinator Stephen Anochi says they will tackle the issue of pedestrian deaths aggressively until the number of deaths on the roads reduced to the barest minimum.
My observation here has been that the way the market women have taken over the streets here or the road and doing business here is not something that is helpful, because we all realize that the central region, when it comes to pedestrian deaths, is leading in this country. And this is one of the main reasons why we are experiencing this kind of death of pedestrians in the region. Virtually every road here has been taken over by these market women, and we think it's unacceptable.
Meanwhile, the DC for Herman Lower Dintra, Francis Kuranchi says the assembly has almost finished expanding the market to ensure that the traders stay there.
It has come to my attention. I know it, I've seen it, and so this is not something that is this problem has existed for many years, and thank God that the assembly has taken it up seriously. As if you have gone there recently to see the work we are doing there and the effort we are making, the assembly has resolved to do something, and as we talk now, we are working tirelessly to get that menace out of the road. I've managed to clear a larger portion at the back of the market. We filled there with a light right, we've cleared the place, we've leveled there. We have put measures in place to take them there, because most of the traders, these are the traders, the market day traders who come there to see.
Richard Kojonyaku's report from Cape Coast.
There have meanwhile been some flight disruptions in Tamale in the northern region as a result of bad weather brought on by the Harmattan. Joynews' Yasmin Muhammad reports 2 domestic carriers, Starbow and African World Airline, could not take off as a result of the bad weather, leaving their passengers stranded Monday morning. A third carrier on track is said to have managed to take off despite the weather challenge. Meanwhile, another World African Airline flight which came in from Accra could not land and had to return. An airline official at the Tamale airport are said to have directed all queries to their head office in Accra. Yasmin, however, adds that the weather tends to be a major challenge for airlines flying to Tamale due to the harsh Harmattan conditions.
MultiTV is bringing a one-stop shopping opportunity for Christmas shoppers at a great discount. The discount fair, which is the first of its kind, takes off from December 18 to 22 at the Trade Fair Centre, La Accra, and it is to make shopping this easy for you this Yuletide.
MultiTV is organizing this fair for the first time, 2013, bringing together all goods and wares that you'd normally get during Christmas. We're trying to bring together under one umbrella, easing traffic to Accra. At the moment, I have clients coming with suits, with Christmas bags, with Christmas toys for kids and for adults. I also have people coming with African wear, anything you can think of that you'd want to buy as present for someone during Christmas. We at the moment negotiating with clients, and we are putting up packages that would suit the general public. I can't tell you whether a client is going to do a 50% discount or is going to do a 20% discount, but definitely there's going to be a discount which you feel it. And the special attraction you find for that Christmas around, dishing out gifts to kids. So rush. We want to throw a special invitation to the general public, especially those with goods and wares who want to clear their stock over the Christmas period, to rush, call through the following numbers: 0302 221 1688. That's 0302 221 1688. Or also call on mobile number 0244 344 568 for registration. MultiTV, just thrills.
The Ghana Mineworkers Union is urging government to scrutinize the books of multinational mining firms in the country, especially those enjoying tax holidays. Secretary of the Union, Prince William Ankra says the scrutiny is necessary because some of the firms are abusing the waiver they've been enjoying by engaging in reckless expenditure, which deprived the state of the revenue due it. He was addressing news at the National Executive Meeting on the GMU.
The waiver of taxes, which comes with tax holidays, is an incentive used to attract firms into the country to exploit resources which otherwise would remain untapped due to a lack of capital, machinery, and sometimes expertise. The exploitation of these resources, though, may come with the full complement of the taxes, which would usually accrue to government, generates badly needed jobs. The about 19,000 strong Mineworkers Union, key beneficiaries of these mining sector jobs, however, believe some of their employers are abusing this opportunity.
I can assure that we have reckless spending in there. The expatriates that get paid market value that you cannot believe it. And those huge money is something that does translate to productivity. So it's important that whilst we are willing to sacrifice where the need be, we ensure that as a government, beyond taking royalties, we begin to be a bit inquisitive as to what really goes on in-house. It may seem to be an interference, but let's face it, multinationals have no national identity. If you don't apply the checks and balances, they have their own way. All the tax havens here and there, we will scrutinize their books, make sure there's open book administration, in that if we all sacrifice or give it further dispensation in terms of incentive, it means to ensure that we don't have bad times where many of our people will lose their job.
The miners are meeting to take stock of their investment and also position members against possible layoffs due to a fall in gold prices. Prince William Ankra, however, downplays fears some of the companies may fold up due to the decline in prices.
It's evident that closure will not be the case. And as I said, we don't have to go to New York. It's in Ghana. And the reality being that they are very smart business leaders. They will try and really contain the shock through labor redundancies, which we think is not our best option. Again, the other cost structures, mergers and acquisition that are virtually reckless in scope. They don't bring the return on investment, procurement and all those expatriate recruitment here and there where they don't add value. So it's important that at least in an engaged process, we learn from these experiences so that we'll be able to adjust as and when the events occur. But it's a cycle that you cannot really dodge.
The union puts the number of mine workers who have been laid off so far at about 3,000, with more expected to be relieved early next year. The General Secretary, however, explains financial literacy programs available to miners, as well as the encouraging remuneration, should be able to provide them with a comfortable life away from mining.
Well, so those are the stories we have for you for the morning. Now, our closing headlines before we bring you a lot more updates.
An appraisal of the performance of all sector ministers of government will begin today at the Flagstaff House.
Rehabilitation works on the Adomi Bridge in the eastern region likely to delay a feuding tension between two communities who are currently claiming ownership of a gravel site are not resolved in time.
And some domestic flights from Tamale to Accra have been disrupted due to the Harmattan.
Well, so those are the best as far as weather updates we can give for you. Are you flying out soon? Just around to film or something?
No.
Okay, not yet. All right. So if you are having any difficulty with your weather, you just live close around the Adomi Bridge in the Eastern region, please get interactive. We have the social network pages we have on Facebook and Twitter as well. 176 is a short code, that one I can mention very well. Only 4 digits, yes. And then also Joynews on TV is on Facebook. And the other one that's on WhatsApp.
0544334722. And up next to bring you sports.
Okay.
To stay on.
We'll be right back. Well, so we start with the World Cup, and Ghana will set up camp in the Brazilian city of Macau during the Brazil 2014 World Cup next year, June. The city is regarded as the most violent city in Brazil, and information gathered indicates the Ghanaian contingent that attended the World Cup draw in Brazil last week firmed up the venue after touring other facilities. Macau, the capital and the largest city of the coastal state of Alagoas, has the unfortunate distinction of being Brazil's most dangerous city and the world's third, with a homicide rate of 135 homicides per 100,000 people. Once known for its idyllic beaches and colonial architecture, the city's homicide rate has climbed by 185% in just 10 years. Much of it has been due to drug-related violence and with numerous addicts murdered every week due to unpaid debts. One man, a resident of one of the city's sprawling favelas, said that 5 of his sons had been murdered in recent years. With over 1,500 murders in 2011, Macau is just one of the 14 Brazilian cities in the top 50 most violent cities in the world. The Black Stars are billed to arrive in Macau 5 clear days before the start of the World Cup on June 12, 2014. Meanwhile, the sports team caught up with the Deputy Minister of Sports, Yusuf Yamin, and he touched on preparations so far being made for the tournament in Brazil.
It's too early to be talking about this. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Elvis Efriankra, just returned from Brazil after witnessing the draw. We are yet to meet as a ministry to want to find out the budget for the competition. Don't forget that we may have an initial budget, but the draw of the team will definitely bring about either a reduction or addition to the budget. And now we have the venues for the match, so a lot of things will be factored into it. We'll then have to look at how we are going to raise funds. The availability of funds is also one thing that will be considered. Then we'll be able to talk about how many people we are sending to Brazil. So for now, it's still in the preparation stage. We are still putting heads together. The minister will convey a meeting. Then committees will be formed to start preparations towards Brazil. We will definitely be sending people, but as to the numbers, I can't be talking about it now.